Welcome to the Prophecy Podcast Bible Reading and Study, where I read the Coleman Bible, the Bible, and the Apocrypha one book at a time. I am going to briefly talk about a dream that I had and its interpretation. So a few nights ago, I had a very long dream and a lot was happening. It was one continuous dream. Now usually they would change scenes, but this time it did not. And there was a song that I was hearing from the start of the dream to the end. The song did not stop. And it was God saying, "My turn. My turn." You know when people do things and they have no regard for anyone else. They only care about themselves and what they can get and how they can get it. They don't have any problems with knocking anyone else down or kicking someone while they are already down. But when it comes to God, people are extremely disrespectful. When it comes to the voice of God in the United States of America, people are extremely disrespectful. They seem to have zero spiritual training. There's times when God speaks and the saints or the ordinary citizen cannot recognize that God is speaking. That is because they don't read their Bible and they don't know about the Apocrypha. I've seen people have a cup that says F God, and they're sticking up their middle finger. I've heard people say F God, F Jesus. I've seen people have complete tantrums and saying, God better get here right now. He better get down here right now. I've seen people saying, why would God allow this? God hates people. He hates us. He doesn't like us. There is no God. I've seen people attack, drag, insult, disrespect, and cuss out authentic prophets, but love their false prophets. And everyone got their belly full. And because of God's mercy, because of God's grace, because of God's love, they didn't have any consequences. We have entered into a season, and I believe today is June 15th, 2025. We've entered a time from now and going forward where it's God's turn. And people are going to learn what consequences feel like and look like. Fragile people are going to have their feelings hurt. The way that people treated God and his servants, they will be treated that exact same way. Some people will survive God's justice and judgment. Some people will not survive God's justice and judgment. What America is experiencing now is just that, justice and judgment for all of her crimes, for unpaid wages, for the blood guilt on her hands. And what the average citizen seems to not recognize is that they are just like their administration. Narcissistic, entitled, deflective, no accountability, blatant pathological liar, dishonest, no love for God at all, amongst a host of other things. People are rude and disrespectful to the migrants, to the quote-unquote aliens that come into the country. They're rude and disrespectful towards the poor people in the country. People do rude and absurd things to children, to dead bodies, to animals. And God sees all of it. America is under judgment by God. And there is no turning back God's hand. The only thing people can do is pray Psalms 51 for themselves. Only thing people can do is focus on their households. That's it. The dream was a little worrisome to me because I think that God is no longer going to be talking to the country. He will talk to people on an individual basis, but to send prophets to talk to the country, I don't think he'll be doing that anymore. God said, it's my turn. And this is the conclusion of the dream. You have your heads up. Now you know, and you have to move and act accordingly. You spiritualists, Tribe of Judah, you really need to delve into Psalms 51. You need to put away the deities and the ancestors and the altars. And you really need to crack open your Bible, and you need to get an Apocrypha. That's all I have to say. Until next time, shalom.